Yes. What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I'm your host, Tashir Rasay. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week 58, jeez, OP, of the weekly homework podcast / assignment. And shout out to my man N95, who provided the intro for the next couple of weeks. That track is sickening. You can hear just nuts. Thank you for that. What are we doing this week? Well, this week is inspired by a week, which is actually week 16 from last year, 2013. Last year, we began this series called Sample Mutilation. Sample Mutilation is very simple. I give you one sample, and you can only use all the elements in that song. No other samples, no other instruments. But of course, you can use your own drums. Now, what's so funny about it is week 16 from last year, we used a song by Frank Stallone called Far From Over. And one of the things that happened the night that the assignment was due is one of our members who's no longer with us emailed me like, hey, I'm trying to get the Rocky sample. I'm like, the Rocky sample? What is he talking about? And I'm thinking like, okay, I see the connection. Frank Stallone, who was actually Sylvester Stallone's, real life brother. So he was talking about the Far From Over joint. So anyhow, I said, you know what I would do is when we go back to this year, I'll try to do it to where on week 16 of 2014, we'll actually do something for that. And unfortunately, I missed week 16 of this week. I think that was the week that Bobby Womack passed, and it kind of threw my whole thinking off. Anyhow, so here we are fulfilling that that joke, I guess you could say, but it's not a joke, from last year. This week we're doing a sample mutilation. I believe this is number 6 or 7, and this is using Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, which is from Rocky 2, or was it 3? Yeah, one of the illest songs of all time. One of the most motivating songs, and just, every time I hear the track, I just want to punch somebody. It's probably not a good thing to say. Anyhow, so we actually have 5 submissions this week. 5 guys stepped up using nothing but that sample and their own drums, and this should be very interesting. Let's get it started with my man, Necro Mantis. Hmm. Yes, yes. Necro coming back. Took a couple weeks off. Now he's back. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Necro is coming more into his own, you can see, as he's been taking a little bit longer of a break lately, but when he does come back, he normally kills it. And I think he did a great job with that one. He's getting more of an electronic vibe with his music now, and that's totally fine because he's capable of doing it, and he's been doing it. So shout out for that. Now that I think about it, it's coming up on a year that he's been with us. I think he got with us last September. So yeah, shout out for that, my man. So yeah, the track, nice, nice. Could it have used just a little bit more variation? Of course. But I know one thing for sure. One of the reasons that I picked this sample is because I knew everybody was going to be pumped when they saw what it was. But then you realize, like, oh, wait a minute. I got to really work because there's not a lot of open instruments and just really great spots in that song. So you have to kind of work around it and really work and pull some stuff out of there. So I know this is going to be a little difficult for people. I'm totally I'm totally acknowledging that. That's cool. But I really like what Necro did. So nice job, my man. Moving on to our man down in South Carolina who has been bringing it every week. I don't think he's missed a week since he joined us. My man, DJ Nocturnal. Let's see what he has. DJ Nocturnal doing his thing for week 58. Listening to that track, I'm a little confused. I am. I'm a little. It's hard to describe my feelings because I definitely hear some stuff that sounds familiar that could be just filtered because I know there's a nice amount of filtering going on and phasing and whatnot. It sounds like some stuff that is definitely coming from there. It's chopped. Pretty much everything is chopped up. But then there's some stuff that sounds like I know for a fact it's not in the song. Like there's a stab synth that I'm hearing that I can't picture that in the song anywhere. There's a couple of other elements that are like that, especially like some of the vocal elements, which you could take a piece of a small piece of a vocal and you can take a small piece of anything and pretty much make it sound like something else, especially once you put certain dynamics on it and certain effects. I do like the track. I'm just a little weary on if it's actually what we were asking for as far as the assignment being everything has to be from the eye of the tiger, with the exception of the drums. You can use your own drums, but everything else has to be from the eye of the tiger. But I did like what I heard. Definitely needed a little bit more variation, but I did like everything that was happening in the song. So maybe we need to get with that offline so you can kind of show me. No, it's all here, touch here. All right, good looking out, Lock. Moving on to our man, 18th Dynasty, who's back this week. Let's see what he has. Classic Dynasty. A minute 25 seconds. But I'm listening to it, and and as I said before, I know this is going to be very challenging. You have to find parts to make it work because it's not a lot of open instrumentation. But I like what he did with the vocal part. Could he have used a couple of other variations? Of course. But I do like where he went with this. It definitely needed a more variation as far as the sampling pattern and as well as just the beat itself. But this is definitely a great premise that you can go on. Now that we're past the assignment, you can go and do some extra craziness if you want to and just get really, really, really sickening with it. Definitely like where you're going with this one. So shout out for the submission, my man. All right, coming up next is our man Gold 007. Let's get it in. Gold 007 doing his thing representing Tampa, Florida. I like that one. I like it. I definitely hear cats is like, man, oh, what do I do? Because I knew for a fact that once everybody saw what it was, everybody knows Eye of the Tiger. And I'm not sure how many songs Survivor had after that song. That's easily their biggest hit ever. So I'm pretty sure if you went to go see them in concert today, Eye of the Tiger is the last song they perform or close to it. But anyhow, everybody knows Eye of the Tiger. And I knew everybody was going to be pumped when they saw what it was. And like I said, I get hype every time I hear it. But then you get into it and it's like, oh crap, what do I do? Especially if you're not like myself and some of the other members at CMA who I come from a sampling background. So I'm going to approach it a lot differently than everybody else. But I can see where people kind of feel limited and they feel forced to be creative. And that kind of goes back to last week's episode. When you only have this much to deal with, you have to get creative, period. So this is what the whole lesson is about, so to speak, is teaching you or forcing you to deal with less and getting creative, having to get creative with only using that, whatever that is, be it one instrument or let's just say in this situation, like a 10-second sample or something like that. You have to get creative with it. So moving on to our finale, and shout out to Go for that. Moving on to our finale for the night, our man, Crooked Mystery Jazz, back this week. Let's see what he has. CMJ, Crooked Mystery Jazz, wrapping up week number 58. That one had me a little worried because I'm listening like, uh-oh, what is this? At first, it didn't sound like any of the survival sample. And I'm looking at the title of it, which actually it says one, O-N-E. And I'm like, oh, crap. Did he accidentally turn in the submission from last week? But then you got the rising up. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, cool, sweet. That would have been really weird. Like, it didn't fit the brief, bro. Anyhow, I definitely see, once again, I see the choke, so to speak. I see where everybody got caught up. And as I said, everybody, depending on what kind of background you have, you're going to approach this differently. So this is definitely one of our, I guess you could say, weirder weeks. I did like his submission. I like the drum work especially. He has, I'm gonna guess, like 3 claps, and he has them panned, so it's almost like shot. I love how that sounds. That's a great freaking technique. And that's the other thing is, you can hear that they have a delay to them. Not a delay, but how they're placed. So it's like flop, flop, almost like a flam. That sounded really, really dope. Nice job on that. And, you know, you can only get a little bit out of there, but once again, it really depends on your background. I came from pretty much strictly a sample background, you know, chop and flip kind of stuff. So I totally understand how people would attack this versus something else. And it's all good because the assignment that's coming up for this week definitely going to open some people up. So shout out for that, CMJ and Gold 007, 18th Dynasty, DJ Nocturnal, Necro Mantis, and thank you for watching, listening, sharing our content, commenting, liking the videos, and just giving us a lot of support every single week. If you would like to be a part of what we do here at Computer Music Academy, come on over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It is that simple. That's it for the week. We will talk to you next time. See ya.